They got a fresh look as part of the new Kerwin Frost box at McDonald's. We're talking all new buddies, dressed head to toe in the freshest fits, all designed by the artist Kerwin Frost. So when you order the Kerwin Frost box with your choice of 10-piece McNuggets or a Big Mac, you'll get one of the flyest McNugget buddies to go with it. Think you can collect them all? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it.
At participating McDonald's for a limited time while supplies last.
I bet you're smart.
Yeah, and you like to hold your own in the group chat.
We can help you drop even more knowledge. My name is Martine Powers.
And I'm Elahe Izadi. We host a daily news podcast called Post Reports.
Every weekday afternoon, Post Reports takes you inside an important and interesting story with the kind of reporting that you can only get from the Washington Post.
You can listen to Post Reports wherever you get your podcasts. Go find it now and hit follow.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. Your car, running or not, could be picked up as soon as the next day. No title, no problem. Go to carsforkids.org today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Hurry! It's your last chance to donate for 2023.
The NFL playoffs are almost here, and it all starts with Super Wildcard Weekend, presented by Verizon.
Give me everything you got!
12 teams, 6 games, 3 days, and one epic weekend that kicks off with a Saturday doubleheader, followed by a Sunday tripleheader, and ends with a Wildcard Monday.
Unbelievable!
The road to Super Bowl 58 starts January 13th.
Are you ready for a new era of color? Because Vizio's new Quantum and Quantum Pro TVs deliver their highest color count ever, along with wide viewing angles, so you can sit wherever you want and still get the perfect picture. They come loaded with all your favorite apps too, like iHeartRadio, so you can stream music, radio, and podcasts straight out the box. So whether it's mesmerizing brightness, superior contrast, or high-speed Wi-Fi for streaming and gaming that you're after, these TVs have it. Head to Vizio.com to learn more or check them out at your favorite retailer.
They're not our children, but we fight for them like they are. When your child is sick, no stone is left unturned. Focused, committed, relentless. That's Comer Care. UChicago medicine for kids.
Oh, sweet child of mine.
Learn more at uchicagomedicine.org/Comer.
How's your money feeling? It's about to feel happier with a certificate from Happy Money's partner, Alliant Credit Union. Elevate and increase your savings with 12-month terms and only $1,000 minimum. And the happiest part? Alliant certificates yield 5.25% APY annual percentage yield. Now that's a happier side of money. Elevate your savings. Go to happymoney.com/Alliant. That's ALLIANT. Funds insured up to $250,000 by NCUA. The APY is accurate as of the 11/1/2023 dividend declaration date. Early withdrawal penalties do apply. Fees may reduce earnings on the account. Any monthly withdrawals or transfers reduce earnings.
It's that time again. It's time for the Guns in the 701 with JD and the boys right here on KFYR 550, KFYR.com, 99.7 FM, iHeartRadio. Guys, how the heck are you? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Mike. Doing good.
All right, guys. You got that popular podcast, so tell us what's been going on lately, guys.
Go ahead and take it. Oh.
Okay, guys.
You got it, Clinton?
Oh, there.
Yeah,
I could
Mike.
not hear anybody.
There you go.
Hey, I can hear you guys. Loud and clear.
Right now.
Now I got it. Now I got all of you.
Yeah, go ahead, Clayton. Why don't you kick it off?
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, I mean, we've been doing a lot of things here, wrapping up the year. We've had 70-some episodes, and Guns in the 701 is going to be carrying on some new and great things coming up in 2024. But with that, we got Jamie. This is his last episode for KFYR today, and we wrapped up the live stream this week. He's going to be taking a hiatus and doing some other things, but we want to thank him for everything he's done launching this. That's what I want to say first and foremost. So,
you
appreciate that, Clay.
Oh, my gosh, you're taking a little time off. Don't forget to write us a postcard, will you, please?
Will do. Will do from the big, exciting city of Bismarck.
There you go. So, with that, though, I'm going to roll right into some FBI stuff, and it has to deal with the NICS background check system. If you're not familiar with that, it's National Instant Criminal Background Check System. And it does not surprise me, but they have actually released numbers that show that over 13.9 million records are tied to illegal aliens in their database, which is actually used for the purchase of firearms from a Form 4473. And, of course, when you have a flood of illegals coming across your border and you've got states that are out there going to even issue them, photo IDs, driver's license, whatever it might be, it's going to make it very easy for them to actually pass that NICS background check system unless something's flagged. And what they talked about here is that they found more than 13.9 million of these incidences that involved illegal aliens. And it was things like, they call it a unique prohibiting event. So things like arrest for something, a conviction, or commitment to a mental health institution. And then the rest of those, which was most of them were things that were flagged, but a few other things were not unique individuals, whatever that means. It wasn't defined. And NICS has a lot of descriptive information of individuals that are identified as being prohibited from receiving a firearm-related permit based on your federal and state firearms prohibitions. And that's why in North Dakota, if you get your concealed carry permit, I believe, what is that, Jamie? Is that a Class 1 or 2? And that essentially will let you bypass that 4473 in the state of North Dakota to purchase firearms, or handguns in particular, but all firearms. And I don't know, they probably do a little better job, I would think, here at a state level. But that's what that's all about when you get that concealed carry. Anything you want to add to that, Jamie?
Yeah, I think if you get one or two, you can bypass it. I've slacked on that ever since we passed permitless carry. I haven't actually got my, concealed one or two. I should get it.
You and me both.
I haven't.
I've never believed in buying my right to carry from the state anyway. So, but yeah.
Yeah, I know it'd be nice to go to other states that have reciprocity with it. Which one is the better one? Again, one, right?
I don't even know on it. Like I said, I have kind of been slack on it too because we went to a constitutional carry here, so I haven't worried a whole lot about it. And in South Dakota, which is where I go mostly, also a non-resident can actually carry concealed in South Dakota as long as you're not prohibited without a permit. So, but I should get one just like you were talking, just for the sake of reciprocity with other states. And of course, you can bypass the new 4473 that's coming out in February. But
I think so. This thing you're talking about, these illegals, it averaged out to about 1,300 of them a year that have been denied. But I imagine now that we're getting just absolutely invaded by tens of thousands of them, that this number is going to be going up. That'd be my guess, Clay.
That'd be mine too, because that was based on their fiscal year 2022, and then basically the first part of 2023, which their fiscal year ends, June 30th or July 1st, something like that. Yeah, and I imagine now with over 25,000 of them coming in just about every week, the last number I've seen, that's going to get worse. December has been horrible here of this particular year with illegal, and they're not migrants, people. These are illegal aliens invading our country. And think about this.
Yep.
You go to a state like California, and when you look at this actual report as to what's happening, and I thought this guy made a really good point. He basically said that if you go to a state like California, you can get yourself a driver's license, which is a state-issued photo ID, and you've got nothing on your record. You've got no record of being deported, and you lie on the 4473. Just because it's illegal, no one does it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they do it all the time, and you don't hardly get processed for it. I think they had 12 prosecutions in June of 2018, and by the way, that's the newest numbers I've got right now. There was roughly 120 or 112,000 denials with only 12 prosecutions done by June of 2018. So basically, they're not prosecuting anybody at the ATF when you do lie on that form. So they do that, they get their photo ID, they lie, and boom, guess what? They get approved at an FFL dealer for a firearm at no fault of the the FFL dealer.
Yeah. So speaking of criminals, we had a guy in Minnesota, Crow Wing County. DNR's investigating it. Apparently, the crime involved a chainsaw, a tree stand, and a damaged hardwood. And evidence at the scene. Conservation officers were thinking the guy tried to steal a tree stand, which was on public land in Crow Wing County, which I just drove through Crow Wing County. But because the stand was locked, the guy didn't, what he did, he took his chainsaw, tried to take the whole thing. But Clay, as anybody who's ever cut trees down since you were a young person like you and I, if you don't do it right, the tree will fall over and pinch the chain bar in there, and you're not getting it out. And that's what this guy did. He couldn't get it out by himself. And so ruined the guy's tree stand and the tree and his hunt. And of course, we've had stories before of people falling out of trees. I mean, you could have killed the guy or seriously wounded the person. And, the fine for that in Minnesota, which you would have got is if they ever do catch the guy, they didn't catch him yet, I guess it's $375, which with that, you can just buy yourself a new chainsaw. And the guy who was a thief could have, get some felling wedges so he can actually steal a tree stand from somebody next time he gives her a go. And apparently this is starting to be a big deal in Minnesota. So I guess I don't know how you're going to, other than chaining your stand to the tree, I don't know how you're going to keep them from getting stolen.
Yeah, I don't either. I saw the picture of what they had in there on that article. I thought that was kind of funny. This chainsaw stuck in there.
Really? Wedge out, buddy. I mean, learn how to cut a tree down, I guess, right?
There you go. Evidently, he didn't know. And there's plenty of trees to practice on in Minnesota, so he should get out there and figure it out, right?
Yeah, there is. So, all right,
hey, Matthew Simon chimed in. I'm going to give you an update. Matthew Simon chimed in and said that number one, which is a North Dakota concealed carry permit, actually has better reciprocity. So there's the answer. Thank you, Matt.
All right. That's the one I need to get. That's the one I need to get then, Clay.
Me too.
So,
I
Mike,
said after we went the other way.
We're going to hit a break here and come back then, Mike, or how do you want to run this morning?
Let's go ahead and run through this here, by the way. You guys are doing great.
Thank you. Thanks, Mike. All righty. Well, we'll move on then to number 3. So,
yes, sir.
Basically, NRA came out with a video. And it's basically about a South Carolina organization called Chicks with Triggers. I mean, you gotta love that, right? Chicks with Triggers. Yeah. It sounds like a lot of fun right there. But anyway,
good triggers, not the bad kinds, right?
That's right. And it's done by Robin Evans. She's the one who launched Chicks with Triggers in basically 2020 when China virus was taking place, and a lot of firearm ownership was on the increase. We all know that. A lot of guns were being sold, and we've had, a 50-month streak now ever since, something like that, of mixed background checks, a record number. So that's great to see. And essentially, NRA picked up on this, and if you guys don't know, NRA Women is a part of the National Rifle Association, and it does focus on, basically that's the biggest and largest demographic of people that are buying firearms and getting into firearm shooting and hunting and just anything with the Second Amendment. And that was even that way even when I was still working for them between 2007 and 2015. Ladies were the biggest demographic and the biggest increase of people coming to the firearm shooting sports, and that was just great to see. So they made a video kind of featuring what they were doing, how it got launched, and basically what she wanted to do with Chicks with Triggers is empower them so that they could defend themselves. And it features a lot of ladies. They picked, I believe, 5 or 6 ladies that had been affected by situations that would have required them to actually defend themselves, which I went and watched the video. I thought they did a great job with it. She's trained now over 4,500 women right there in South Carolina, and she's won 125,000 NRA instructors, certified right now across the nation. And Wayne LaPierre, who's NRA's executive vice president and CEO, he basically was giving her praises, which was great to see, and stated that she serves as an ambassador and a leader in the mission of educating Americans in self-defense. I mean, it doesn't get any clearer than that, right? Especially when you look at what's happening, and like with Joe Biden and old Kamala and Governor Gavin Newsom out there in California. Yeah, absolutely.
So, Clay, a lot of people think that's a waste of money that the NRA does, which I think is ridiculous because all that's doing is getting people more involved in their Second Amendment rights and on our team. If you don't do outreach like that, how are you going to teach some people that just they get a gun and they're not going to? I guarantee you, they're talking about this. This gal's talking to these other women about civil rights and how important the Second Amendment is, just beyond defending yourself. Which I see here, she concluded in the video actually saying the NRA is single-handedly the biggest and strongest organization, especially for gun rights in this country. And I think that without them, we would be absolutely screwed. And I could not agree with her more. Some people don't think the NRA does a damn thing. But I've got bad news for you. The NRA is still putting foot to rear end for the Second Amendment. I love it.
Yeah, and I thought that was a great ending. It was what she said, too, in the interview and on the video, because she's absolutely right. You and I have talked about that on the show I don't know how many times. Yes, you might have an issue with the NRA here or there. You might not like some of the things they've done. But I can tell you right now, since they formed the ILA part of National Rifle Association back in 1975, I believe it was, there's been nobody that's been to the defense of the Second Amendment more than the National Rifle Association, with the clout and basically the record of getting legislation either stopped, modified, or passed. And let's remember, they've had to make some compromises. They didn't have no choice. 1994 assault weapons ban was one of those things. And without the NRA, guys, we would have never seen a sunset clause, and we'd still be stuck with it. NRA negotiated that in a Democrat House with a Senate and a Democrat president. There was no stopping that bill. That was just mainly sitting there going, we got to litigate it to the most possible thing that will be beneficial for the Second Amendment in the future. And they did it. So, love them or hate them, it's like anything else. NRA is the big 10,000-pound gorilla in the back of the room. It's going to get things done and help you out. The other groups are great. They've done some good stuff, picking up on the lawsuits and things, but they all got to be on the same page. That's just plain and simple truth.
Right. And the NRA has usually not been involved in lawsuits. They've been more into the legislative part of things. And, with Joe Biden, Clay, we talked about it the other day there, right? He's trying to bribe states into taking money to pass stuff legislatively in states. So guess what? That's where the role is going to shift back to the NRA again, big time, about dealing with these state legislatures. Because a lot of these other gun organizations, like you said, Clay, they're more involved in court cases and stuff like that, where the NRA is definitely, in my opinion, more of a legislative, organization. So, but they have been getting involved in some big court cases too. They're involved in Bruin, so. Which is the biggest court case for Second Amendment in our lifetime, probably, and probably everybody else's for that matter. But
I would say in the world of Second Amendment rights, Bruin was the Roe versus Wade case on the abortion issue. It was huge.
Perfect.
And it's having long-lasting effects that we're going to see well beyond you and me, which is good. As long as we can hold the country together, it'll be the precedent. That was a precedent-setting case that's going to now blanket the United States. And you're seeing it already. We're seeing a lot of things overturned, even as things are being kicked back down now through the appellate process on some of these crazy laws. We're basically seeing them overturned because you have that historical reference on the Bruin case now that they got to apply. So, that was a huge nationwide precedent-setting case to protect the Second Amendment.
So let's switch gears here to something a little funner, Clayton, shall we? Instead of
I like this one, by the way. This is pretty cool.
Yeah. So I can't remember where the heck I got this article from. Outdoors Life or something. But they got the most famous guns in movies, which a couple I'm going to disagree with, Clay, and I'll get your opinion obviously on that too. But we'll go through. They got They got five or six of them here, and I'll go through them real quick. The number one they have is the Colt Single Action Army Model 1873. which Hollywood has, favored the Peacemaker almost to exclusion of all the other handguns that made the Wild West, there's been plenty of other ones for that matter. But, okay, I'm not going to disagree with that one, Clayton. How about yourself?
Oh, I think that's one of the most iconic. I mean, you see that in just about every movie, the Colt Single Action Army. I own one myself, so I mean, it's got to be one of those you always have. If you're a gun collector,
you own one
of
about everything, don't you?
Getting there, it seems like.
All right, so number 2, they got Smith & Wesson Model 29, which Dirty Harry made famous. Is a 44 Magnum, the most powerful in the world, and a handgun that can blow your head clean off. And that's if you're lucky punk. But other than that, I guess I don't really, I guess I'm not a huge revolver guy either, so I guess I don't remember that a whole lot. And maybe in the 70s, I was born in 71, so maybe a lot of those movies I didn't. Maybe I'm kind of more of an auto loader guy, but I mean, who knows? I don't know. I guess that's one of them, Clay. I'm going to say I don't agree with on the most famous guns in movies. I don't know. What do you think about the Model 29 there and being famous? We use Clayton.
No, I think he's still here. Clayton, you there? Hello.
All right, Mike. I'll tell you what. I'm going to keep going. Then how's that grab you until Clay gets back on?
Okay, that'll be fine. We'll give it a few more minutes here.
You bet. Number 3, we got the Walther PPK, which is, of course, made famous in the James Bond movies. The 32 ACP. I'd agree with that one. Number 4, we got the Thompson, Thompson submachine gun. Obviously, a bunch of war movies and the gangster movies, which I would agree with, too. And then we got the Sharps Model 74, which, in my opinion, was only made famous in one movie, and that was Quigley Down Under with Tom Selleck. So I'm gonna throw that one off the list. And last but not least, Mike, they got the Winchester Model 73. Kind of the gun that won the West. I would agree with that one. That's in a lot of great movies over the years. But in my opinion, some guns that should have been on here. We got AR style rifles, of course, with John Wick, Scarface, and Heat, First Blood, and of course Glocks. Glocks should definitely be on here because they're in just about every Hollywood movie there is, and double barrel shotguns, Mike. But with that, Mike, if Clay's not back on, I'll tell you what, I'm going to let you go here. I appreciate the time, and I'd just like to thank KFYR for having me on here with Clay. Clay's going to continue doing this every Friday. I don't know if he's going to be on with us by himself or with another guy.
Right. He can always be on with Todd and Jesse. They're always his companions. So
yeah, I'm back. I don't know what happened on my phone, but I'm back.
Okay, yeah, no biggie, Clay. I got through it, and I was just we're just kind of wrapping it up. I just was telling everybody you're going to continue doing the show Fridays here. I'm not quite sure what your plan is, and I'm just thanking KFYR for giving us a chance, especially Todd Mitchell, who brought us in there and had a meeting with us and gave us this opportunity, and me, and Clay's going to continue doing it, and I just thank everybody who's listened to the show and enjoyed listening to it because I've enjoyed doing it.
Oh, absolutely, Jamie, and we couldn't have done it without you. You and I started this baby up here in August of 2022, something like that, 2023. I don't even remember it. It was 2022. So over a year and a half, it's been a great ride, and I hope we've basically enlightened a lot of people. And I can tell you what the plans are. Show's moving forward. I got to talk with Todd, and I'm going to also have some of the guys that are going to be helping with the show after the first of the year. And they're also going to be calling in with me every Friday. So the show will go on, and I can tell you, Jamie, once in a while, I know will be on there guest hosting or covering for us because I've asked him if he'd do that, and he said he would. So he's not gone forever, guys. he's
gone,
but not forgotten.
We're still going to be here for you guys, that's all. So, guys, everybody, thank you for your time. I'd like to wish you a Happy New Year's, and we'll talk to you all in 2024.
Sounds good. Thanks, Mike. Guys, have a great New Year's, and we'll talk to you in 2024.
All right, thank you very much, guys. That's JD and the crew here on the Guns in the 701. More coming up I'm Mitchell Lamourie. I'm Mike Wagner in for Todd and Jesse, KFYR 550, KFYR.com, 99.7 FM, and iHeartRadio.
Shetler's Construction is a company that offers Amish quality and no surprises. I can say that with confidence because I am David Shetler, and this is our family-owned company. We help our customers design and create the buildings of their dreams. Join our many satisfied customers and achieve your dreams of a quality custom-built home, heated shop, or pole barns. Call me, David Shetler, at Shetler's Construction, 701-690-7713.
The legendary voice of the Northern Plains, KFYR.
Coming up next, the demand is keeping diesel fuel prices high, and we'll find out why.
It's free this week from Xfinity. Try out these cheerful shows and movies all month long